At first people thought he'd simply fallen into a huge pit, but the next moment he sensed something was wrong. This wasn't an ordinary hole, but a gigantic footprint in the forest. What puzzled everyone was, what kind of creature could have left such an astounding mark? To solve the mystery, they had no choice but to seek out an elderly couple, who then revealed a solemn oath. Just yesterday afternoon, the old couple were sitting at home having dinner when the dog in the yard suddenly started barking wildly. Before they could even grasp what was happening, the coffee on the table began to tremble. At first they thought it was just a minor tremor, but the next second, the entire room shook violently. Sensing trouble, the couple hurried into their basement and bolted the door. Fortunately, no sooner had they taken cover than the house took a brutal hit. When the tumult outside finally quieted, they nervously poked their heads out and what lay before them. Upon hearing it, the horror terrified them. The house lay in ruins, a colossal footprint etched in the distance, and Lisa immediately sensed it was wrong. So she immediately rallied the team and started searching nearby. But just as they hit a dead end, Lisa felt a chill down her spine. When she turned to look, a massive eye was slowly opening behind them. The woman, face pale with terror, saw the hillside split open. Grandpa Kazlan sensed something was off and rushed to call his companions, but by the time he slowly turned his head, he finally made out that it was a mysterious creature masterful in disguise. Before they could react, it began to stir, and in mere seconds, the horrifying monster was fully awake. Sensing the dire situation, the two swiftly turned to flee. Yet no sooner had they boarded the helicopter than the gigantic beast was upon them. Only then did everyone finally see that the monster not only had a massive head, but spanned at least 300 to 400 meters in length. The old man never thought this creature from myth could actually exist. Soldiers swiftly reported the sighting to headquarters. After investigation and verification, they confirmed the giant mountain troll they'd hunted, but everyone was at a loss over handling the hot potato. Senior leaders insisted it be destroyed at once, but the old man argued the beast posed no real threat and was too valuable to lose, wanting to keep it for research. As the two sides were at an impasse, a nearby town suddenly began shaking violently. Before anyone could grasp what was happening, a young girl cried out in terror as a gigantic, fearsome hand emerged from behind a stone carving, sending everyone scrambling in panic. Terrified they might be its next victims, they watched the troll prepare to unleash slaughter when at last the human army arrived on the scene. Strangely, huge bronze bells hung beneath every aircraft. They quickly surrounded the giant troll, and sure enough, it proved extremely sensitive to the bell's tolls. Within minutes it was clutching its head, unable to endure the ringing. Just as the soldiers felt certain of victory, the troll suddenly surged with power, seized an attack helicopter, and tore it apart. Before anyone could recover from the shock, seizing the moment, it turned the tables, and humanity realized they were no match for the troll. They withdrew temporarily to save their lives as Chief gasped in horror. On the big screen, he saw the legendary mountain monster giant troll appear. Before they could even react, the troll began a frenzied assault on the surrounding. As rumors and official reports of the emergency swept through every part of the town, the populace collectively and immediately directed their widespread anger at the government. People accused officials of neglect, suggested selling sweet potatoes at home. To calm outrage, the president hastily held a press conference. He solemnly vowed to make the monsters pay, while elsewhere, Lisa and her team, through tireless effort, finally discovered the giant insects. Although the place was littered with bleached bones, they still steeled themselves and dug deep to find the creature's weak points. At that moment, Lisa accidentally noticed that the troll's skeletons reacted strongly to ultraviolet light. From this, it could be deduced that these underground dwellers must detest sunlight. Realizing this, Lisa immediately decided to use a creature's skull as bait to lure the trolls. Once everything was in place, the trolls indeed took the bait. Determined at any cost to reclaim her ancestors' garments, and seeing them closing in, Lisa floored the accelerator and charged at the trolls at full throttle. Fortunately, she narrowly avoided the massive foot crashing down.
Seeing the moment was right, Lisa quickly ordered teammates to pull aside the dark demon, revealing a gigantic skull. The trolls appeared, vowing to make despicable humans pay.
Little did they realize this was exactly what everyone wanted. Lisa drove straight for the trap chamber, but the trolls weren't pushovers and caught up in the blink of an eye. Without a word, they reduced the car to wreckage. Then Chao Chuihua immediately attacked. At the life or death moment, good triumphed. Spotlights suddenly lit one after another, trapping the trolls firmly so they couldn't move. Lisa seized the chance and escaped, and even more. But unexpectedly, the first rays of morning sunlight also shone in. Unable to withstand the ultraviolet light, the trolls began to crumble like gravel, and before long completely. Even Lisa of the Northwest could hardly believe it. Everything unfolded just as she predicted, and the trolls were so easily destroyed. Just as everyone thought the crisis was over, they had no idea that somewhere in the world, an even more terrifying cataclysm was about to erupt.